Pepsi now yanking this controversial ad for being tone deaf. It basically depicted imagery similar to the Black Lives Matters movement and depicted cops as authoritarian. You see that? The Kendall Jenner gave a soda can to a cop as if that's going to solve everything. The commercial features model Kendall Jenner appearing to end a standoff between protesters and police, again with a Pepsi can. Let's take this to Dallas Fallen Officer Foundation President Sergeant Demetrick Pennie. Sergeant, yesterday, Pepsi was out there defending the ad, saying it, quote, reflects people from different walks of life coming together in a spirit of harmony. But now, Sergeant, Pepsi is apologizing, saying, quote, Pepsi was trying to project that global message of unity, peace, and understanding. We missed the mark. We apologize. What do you think?
Pepsi overstepped their boundaries with this whole ad. They knew exactly what they were doing. Historically, Pepsi has put out these type of ads that have always teetered on the line of controversy, and this time they overstepped their boundaries. This is where reputational risk went bad for Pepsi. And then they pulled the ad. Rightfully so, they should pull it. But it doesn't stop there. Their accountability needs to be greater than this. Pepsi, and looking at the whole video and how they played it out, they showed that they endorsed civil disobedience. They wanted everyone out in the streets. And then look, who did they play as show as the villain? They showed police officers as villains. When it's all over, you can't just give a police officer a Pepsi can and walk away. Let's look at the carnage that's left behind after these civil disobedient
Is it
riots.
really? But wait a second, Sergeant. Is it really civil disobedience? I don't want to get into the weeds here, but they're just out there marching.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Without playing into politics, we're not going to call it civil disobedience. We're going to call them riots as they are. These are always riots, and they can start off saying that they're peaceful, but they become riots.
Okay,
That's
but
exactly what
hang
they
on.
become.
There's no riot. I'm sorry. There's no riot being shown here. But let's go on. I mean, Kendall Jenner is reportedly devastated over this Pepsi ad that was pulled. What is your reaction, though, to Pepsi saying, it was okay one day, but then pulling it a day later?
Like I said, these guys, they knew exactly what they were doing. Everyone involved knew what they were doing. They knew that police were going to be painted as the villain. Regardless of how we paint this picture, how we look at it, police are still going to be the villain at the end of the day. And let me tell you something. It doesn't end like that at the end of any type. I don't care whatever you call it. Right? These protests don't end
I hear what you're saying.
The way that you say that they end, right? Here in Dallas, we're still dealing with the loss of 5 officers here in Dallas.
I hear what you're saying,
And I want to make sure that message goes out to everyone, Liz. I mean, we're still, this is still devastating for law enforcement as a whole. These companies have to be accountable for what they put out, right? And that's why I've been working with Guy Peck and working with Eric Feinberg to make sure that these businesses remain accountable for what they put out. Let's be accountable for the message. Because the message, if you paint police as villains, people are going to believe that. And you got to remember that we have a vulnerable society that pays attention to whatever messaging that these companies put out.